I didn't say a word. I was the first to sign, taking 2.8 million to move.
To the city. The village chief called me a fool, and the
They all said if I waited, I could get another million. Together, they became holdouts, blocking the construction site entrance every day to demand a higher price. A year later, I drove back to the village to visit the graves, and those holdouts squatted by the wasteland, holding my hand and weeping. The airport was gone, and not a single penny was left. The courtyard instantly erupted into chaos. How much for the land? My 2 acres are prime land. Quiet, let me finish. According to policy, this land reclamation involves houses, homesteads, fields, and woodlands. The comprehensive assessment offers a one-time compensation of 2.8 million per household.
This number fell like a stone into water, causing a dead silence before.
Only 2.8 million? Are they handing out scraps to beggars? A piercing voice shouted. It was my cousin, Wang Chang. Chief, you can't agree to this price. Last year, the neighboring county
Built a high-speed railway, and each family got.
Right, we can't agree. 5 million minimum. Without 5 million, no one touches an inch of our land. The villagers' emotions were ignited. They stood up one by one, their faces flushed, and necks strained. I remained silent, quickly doing the math in my head. Was enough to buy a nice house in the city in full, with a large sum left over. As for the 5 million they demanded, it was pie in the sky. When Li Fukai exchanged a glance with Wang Cheng, I instantly understood. One was playing the good cop, the other the bad cop, trying to drive up the price.
I understand how everyone feels.
8 million is indeed a bit low. My point is, we must stand together and unite as one.
No one signs first. Whoever signs.
Finished speaking and intentionally glanced my way.
My parents passed away early, so I was the only one on the household register. I made the decisions for my family. I stood up. Everyone's eyes instantly focused on me. Chen An, do you have a different opinion? I didn't look at him, but spoke directly to the town official sitting behind the table. Comrade, I agreed to this compensation plan. The entire courtyard instantly fell dead silent. The town official froze for a moment, then broke into a smile. This young comrade has great political awareness.
We can sign the agreement right here.
Double quotes ... N. Are you crazy? Selling your ancestors' house for 2.8 million? How can you face your late father? Chenin, stop fooling around. This concerns the interests of the whole village.
I only care about my family's interests.
Having said that, I walked straight to the table holding the contracts and the ink pad. Behind me, curses surged like a tide. Ungrateful wretch. Bah, how did our village end up with a creature like you? Throwing away your ancestors for a few dirty coins. Deafened to their words, I picked up the pen and signed my name, Chenin, at the end of the contract, then pressed down a bright red thumbprint. Young Chen, thank you for your support. The compensation will be transferred to your card within 3 days. I tucked away my copy of the contract and turned around, preparing to leave. Wang Cheng blocked my path, his eyes bloodshot with rage. Chenin, if you dare walk out of this door today,
Don't ever think about coming back to work.
nothing would please me more. Ever since my parents passed away, I had lived alone in that empty house, enduring the constant gossip of the villagers. The hypocritical faces of Wang Chang's family flashed through my mind. Our houses shared a single wall. Yet when they rebuilt their home, they insisted they lacked foundation space and stole a meter from our corner. My father was too honest and never argued with them. Haven't they taken enough advantage of us over the years? Now they want to talk about ancestral heritage and family bonds. It's truly laughable. Just then, my phone rang. It was an unfamiliar number. Chenin, this is Li Fukai. Get back to the courtyard right now and tear up that signature. The village chief's voice roared through the phone. The contract is signed and in effect, my foot. I'm telling you, as long as the village committee disagrees, your contract is nothing but a piece of scrap paper. You're now the enemy of the entire village. Do you even realize that? All I know is that in 3 days, 2.8 million yuans will be in my account. As for the rest of you, cause a scene if you want. I hung up and began to pack my things.
Honestly, there wasn't much to.
Changes of clothes and a black and white photo of my.
I was going to say a final, complete farewell to this place, 2 days later, my phone chimed with a message alert. Your account has received 2.8 million yuan. Packing my simple bags, I took one last look at the home where I had lived for over 20 years and walked toward the village entrance. A crowd had gathered there. Li Fukai and Wang Chang were right among them. Chenin, you really think you can just leave? Now that you have the money, escaping won't be that easy. What do you want, to rob me? You've cut off the fortune of the entire village. If you don't give us an explanation today, don't even think about leaving. That's right, we can't let him just walk away. They surrounded me, each one filled with righteous indignation.
As if I had committed some heinous.
My fortune was given by the state. Your own fortune was ruined by your own greed. What does that have to do with me? Cut the crap. Either you hand over half the money to split among everyone, or you're leaving here on a stretcher today. Wang Chang?
Are you threatening me? So what if I am? I'm teaching you.
Wolf. He swung his fist toward my face, but I was prepared and stepped back. While pulling out my phone, on the screen was the dialing interface. 110. 3 digits displayed crystal clear. Touch me and see. Intentional injury plus extortion. How many years do you think you'll spend behind bars? Wang Chang's fist froze in midair. The clamoring villagers behind him instantly fell completely silent. Li Fukei's expression shifted repeatedly before he finally stepped forward to smooth things over. Oh, we're all family here. Chang was just acting on impulse. Chenin, look, how about this?
Don't leave just yet.
There's nothing to discuss. The contract clearly states that after signing, I must relocate within 7 days. I am merely following the rules. I bypassed them and walked briskly toward the highway outside the village. Behind me, Wang Chang's resentful voice echoed once more. Chen, and just you wait, you'll regret this. When we get 5 or 10 million. Village. Leaving behind these so-called relatives. Arriving in the city, my very first task was to visit a real estate agency. Ultimately, I purchased a 110 square meter apartment for 1.75 million yuans. In this city, I finally had a home that truly belonged to me. With the remaining money, I bought an SUV for around 200,000 yuans. After completing all the paperwork, I had over 800,000 yuans left. I sent my new
Home address to one specific.
Key, one of the very few people in the village who had ever helped my family. Over the receiver, a wave of chaotic noise filtered through. It sounded like a massive crowd arguing. What's going on over there? Don't even get me started. After you left, Wang Chang and the others blew things way out of proportion. They set up a huge tent at the village entrance, guarding it day and night, refusing to let the construction team enter. They even printed flyers claiming the compensation is too low. Isn't the village chief doing anything? He's the one leading them. Li Fukai is holding meetings every single day, telling everyone that if they just hold out, they'll definitely get far more than 2.8 million. That the payout could at least double. And people actually believe that. Everyone does. Human greed knows no bounds. They could have taken the 2.8 million, bought a house in the city, and lived a stable, comfortable life. Isn't that enough? But no, they insist on chasing these wild dreams of sudden wealth. Now they're all calling you a fool, saying you lost out on over 1 million. Oh, and Wang Chang is going around telling everyone that once you burn through your money and have nowhere else to go, you'll come crying back to the village. And when that time comes, he won't give you a single penny. Let him enjoy his delusion. I had already become immune to such words. After hanging up, I opened an app and subscribed to a few specific keywords. Airport, Wolong Village, land acquisition. I wanted to see how this farce, which I had unwittingly started, would finally end. Half a month later, a notification popped up on my screen. The headline read, Wolong villagers unite globally to resist unreasonable compensation, determined to defend their lawful rights.
It was an article published by, accompanied by a few photographs. In the pictures, Wang Chang stood
And triumphant expression plastered across his face. The tone of the article was highly sensationalized, painting their ignorance and greed as a noble, grassroots struggle for justice. Below the article, hundreds of comments flooded in to support them. Good for the villagers. The developers are far too corrupt. 8 million isn't even enough for a single apartment in a first-tier city. The folks of Wolong village have real spine. Keep holding out. Looking at these completely one-sided comments,
I found it utterly laughable. Did any of these keyboard
They had no idea what kind of dilapidated shacks the houses in Wolong village actually were. Nor did they understand what 2.8 million yuans meant to an ordinary, rural family. They were merely venting their own frustrations. Meanwhile, Wang Chang and his followers clearly mistook this cheap internet solidarity for an invincible shield. I scrolled further down and found a video clip interviewing Wang Chang. What is your target price? Each household demands at least this much. Has beautiful lands and pristine waters. Once the airport is built, won't the surrounding land value skyrocket? We are doing this for the sake of our future generations. Our village used to have a trader named Chen An, who took the 2.8 million and was the very first to sign and run away. People like him are short-sighted, lacking any sense of collective honor. Just wait until we get our 8 million. He won't even have a shoulder to cry on. Let me tell you right now. In the video, he spoke with absolute bravado, as if the 8 million were already in his pocket. That evening, Uncle Seven called me again, his voice heavy with deep anxiety. Xiaoen, did you see the news? Wang Cheng and the others have completely hardened their hearts. They won't budge without 8 million. I saw it. Sigh, these people have gone mad. Utterly insane. The project management side offered to add another 200,000 at most, rounding it up to an even 3 million.
But they still refused. They even beat up the negotiators and smashed their car.
The police have all arrived by now.
They arrested a few of the ringleaders, but
The village is now split into several factions, some demanding 8 million, others 10 million. Some are even suggesting they pool their own money to build apartments
to sell later as housing for airport staff.
A crowd of people, completely out of their depth, driven mad
by an illusory figure, turning on each other in bitter
Uncle Key, stay out of their mess. Just mind your own business. I know.
I just can't help but feel anxious.
And I'm worried about you too. Wang Cheng has been bragging that he'll come to the city sooner or later. If he comes, I'll be waiting. To me, the threats of a man who holds no respect for the law are utterly meaningless. What truly concerns me is the airport project itself. If this chaos continues, how much longer will the investors' patience last? In the blink of an eye, 3 months passed. I enrolled in several online courses, filling my daily schedule to the absolute brim. During this time, I repeatedly turned down Uncle Key's suggestions to return and visit the village. That is a place I have no desire to revisit for now. Yet, news from Wolong village still trickled in. Their standoff with the project department had reached a bitter deadlock after Wang Cheng and his crew smashed the company vehicles. The investors' stance hardened completely. Not only did they revoke the 200,000 yuan relocation bonus, but they also issued a formal statement declaring that if the villagers continued to obstruct construction, they would take legal action to recover all financial losses. This threw the village into a panic, but Wang Cheng and Li Fukai quickly called another mobilization meeting. This is just a scare tactic by the developers. It is the final darkness before the dawn. If we just hold on a little longer, victory will be ours. I have inside information. This airport project is mandated by the province. It cannot be changed.
The developers are more anxious than we are.
Every day they delay is another day of heavy losses. Right now, it's simply a war of attrition. Once again, the majority were swayed by his words, choosing to believe. They went so far as to drag the matter before the city's television station, which actually sent reporters to investigate. Watching the broadcast online, I saw a crowd of villagers surrounding the reporter, all talking over one another to voice their grievances. We've lived here our entire lives.
Now they're driving us out to build an airport.
How are we supposed to survive?
Wang Cheng gave an exclusive interview as the
We aren't holdouts. We are citizens with legitimate claims
and rational demands. What can 2.8?
Our demands are not high. We only ask for a fair price based on standards in similar regions. He spoke with such righteous conviction, as if he were the very embodiment of justice. The broadcast sparked a massive wave of local outrage, reigniting public opinion. The public overwhelmingly sided with the villagers, condemning the heartless developers. Wang Chang and Li Fukai saw their prestige in the village rise to an absolute peak. They went as far as organizing a neighborhood watch committee, taking shifts at the village entrance to intercept and interrogate every single unfamiliar vehicle. Terrified that someone might secretly contact the project department, Wolong village turned into a fortress. United as one, they guarded that multi-million-dollar dream. Then, one night, seventh uncle called again. This time, his voice sounded utterly exhausted. Zhaoen, the village is becoming unlivable. What happened now? A few days ago, Wang Cheng's wife found a fortune teller. He said the land of our village sits on a dragon meridian. Building the airport here would bring prosperity for 3 generations. He also said whoever moves out first cuts off their own dragon meridian and will face terrible misfortune. I listened in sheer disbelief. In this day and age, someone still believes that? And you believe it too? Of course I don't, but everyone else in the village does. Now, whoever mentioned signing
is accused of trying to ruin the day before yesterday. We lost.
In the end, they were cornered at home by the surveillance group and nearly beaten to death. Dog blood was even thrown all over their front door. I fell silent.
Things had moved beyond the realm of reason.
Greed combined with ignorance is the most terrifying poison. Zhao An, you were right to leave back then. This place is no longer the Wolong village.
We used to know, hanging up the phone.
If I had shown even a shred of hesitation or wavering back then, choosing to stand with them, then the number of people trapped in that mad, paranoid, and hopeless village would have included me. I didn't dare to think any further. From that day on, I proactively blocked all news about Wolong village. A year passed in the blink of an eye. By the time spring arrived once more, I had completely established myself in the city. Using the funds I had, I partnered with a friend to open a small cultural media company. Though small in scale, the business was stable and the income was respectable. Wolong village, the place where I was born and raised, was becoming increasingly blurred in my memory. I thought my connection to that village was completely severed, until the eve of the King Ming festival, when I received a call from 7th uncle, Zhao En, for King Ming this year. Are you coming back to visit your parents' graves? 7th uncle's voice was unusually hoarse, laced with an indescribable exhaustion and panic. Yes, I am. What's wrong? Zhao En. Something big is about to happen in the village. No one from that airport project department has shown up for nearly 3 months. Their temporary office has long been empty. What about Wang Cheng and the others? At first, they said the developer couldn't hold out any longer, playing dead on purpose to force us to back down first. Wang Cheng even told everyone to stay calm, saying victory was just ahead. But it's been 3 months now, and there's been absolutely no movement. A couple of days ago, I heard a rumor that the province held a meeting. They felt the land acquisition cost for our Wolong village was too high, and the local conduct was too, well, it created a bad impression. Boom, it felt as if something exploded in my mind, although I had a premonition. When this day truly arrived, I still felt a sudden wave of anxiety. 7th uncle, is the news confirmed? Not yet, it's just a rumor, but some people in the village are already starting to panic. Last week, Wang Cheng took a few people to the town to ask around, but they couldn't even get through the front gate. When he called the town mayor, the mayor wouldn't answer anymore. Now, the village is full of wild rumors. People are saying all sorts of things. Had they still not realized how severe the situation was? Some had, but they dared not speak. Wang Cheng was still stubbornly holding out. Whoever dared to say the airport was gone would face his wrath, branded a traitor ruining morale. He claimed he would head to the city in a few days, and even the province. He had connections to get definitive news. I let out a bitter smile. Even now, he was still dreaming. Zhaoen, be careful now that you're back. The villagers are unstable right now, like a powder keg waiting to ignite.
Whatever you do, don't provoke them. I understand.
Uncle, thank you for telling me all this. On Tombstone.
I decided to drive back to Wolong village, just to talk to my parents at their graves, and to witness the conclusion of that farce with my own eyes. As I approached the highway exit,
My phone suddenly vibrated, and
notification, the final announcement regarding the relocation of the new airport project. It was concise and to the point, due to major resistance during land acquisition in the original site of Wolong village. The project had faced prolonged stagnation. To ensure the key project proceeded on schedule, provincial and municipal authorities decided that the new airport project would be entirely relocated to Fengming City, effective immediately. All preliminary agreements and compensation plans involved in the original project would be terminated and voided upon this announcement. Completely terminated and voided. This meant the contract I signed was theoretically void too, but my money was already in hand. The house and car were bought, and my new life was already on the right track. This announcement was just a scrap of paper to me, but to the rest of Wolong village, those words were a death warrant.
declaring their year-long persistence and the 8 million yuan dream shattered, and even the
I drove toward the center.
of the village, the once bustling construction site,
All the machinery and equipment had vanished, leaving behind only an abandoned, ugly scar on the earth. This was what they got in exchange for a year of their lives, and a guaranteed 2.8 million yuans. A few figures rushed out from an alley, running toward me. Leading them were Li Fukai,
and Wang Chang, having not seen them for years.
Chen En, you dare to show your face here? Doing well for yourself, aren't you? Even driving a car? What? Came back to laugh at us? I'm back to visit my parents' graves. Graves? A fox mourning. The hare. You just came to mock us. Did you know all along that the airport was gone? Did you? He practically roared. Those last words, the villagers behind him, hearing that the airport was gone, shuddered as terror washed over their faces. Li Fu Kai quickly pulled back the agitated Wang Chang, squeezing out a smile that looked sadder than crying. Zhao En, you're back. Don't mind Wang Cheng's nonsense. He's just under too much pressure. It hasn't been an easy year. Guarding a wasteland while dreaming of 8 million yuan was indeed not easy. My words acted like a needle, piercing right through their final, fragile disguise. What 8 million? Now we don't even have a single cent. My family even sold our pigs, just waiting for that money. What do we do now? Of muffled, heavy sobs. Shut up. What are you crying for?
Who said it's gone? It's unconfirmed. Shannon
A young man came sprinting toward them, holding up his phone, his face a mask of apocalyptic despair. Village chief, Chang Ji, this is bad. The city just released an official notice. They really did. Look at your phones. It's all over the news. The airport has been moved to Fengming City. We lost it. Li Fu Kai shook violently as he took the phone. Wang Chang leaned his head into. The moment they saw the text on the screen, their faces instantly turned as pale as sheets.
It's over. It's all over. Wang Chang stood
Completely motionless, that official notice was like a death warrant, plunging every single one of them into a bottomless abyss. After a brief, stunned silence, the crowd erupted. My God, it's really gone. How could this happen? How could this happen? Wang Chang, didn't you say you had inside information? Didn't you say it was a sure thing? What do you have to say now? You've ruined us all. And you, Li Fu Kai. It was the two of you who insisted on holding out, demanding 8 million. Now look, we won't get a single penny. I'll beat you to death, you jinx.
The furious villagers swarmed forward, raining fists and kicks upon Leaf. The scene instantly spiraled out of control.
Had become the punching bags for everyone's regret and despair. Stop hitting them. What's the point? Will it bring the money back? Those words were like a bucket of cold water, poured over the crowd, freezing their violent hands in place. Every single person's gaze unanimously shifted and locked onto me. Those looks were entirely different from a year ago, no longer filled with scorn, ridicule, or anger. Instead, it was a look of near total despair, laced with jealousy, regret, and supplication. In their eyes, I had become the only one who clutched a life-saving straw. I was the sole survivor. Zhao En. Uncle was wrong. Uncle is sorry. I was blind to your wisdom. I was possessed by greed, listening to Wang Chang's instigations and leading everyone into madness. We were all fools.
He wept like a child. I watched him, saying nothing. Wang Chang
And shoved right in front of me, this cousin, who had once been so insufferably arrogant, pointing at my nose and branding me a traitor.
Now looked like a defeated rooster, completely stripped of.
He looked at the clean clothes I wore, and then at his own wretched state. The stark contrast finally broke him. It was my greed. I ruined everyone. I failed the entire village. I failed the ancestors of Wolong village. For the sake of your uncle and aunt, please, save us. You must have a way, right? You know so many people in the city. Go talk to the developers. We don't want the 8 million anymore. We don't want anything extra. Just give us the original 2.8 million, please. I beg of you. Behind him, the realization hit the other villagers. And a massive crowd fell to their knees with a thud. Yes, Zhaoen, help us. We know we were wrong. We truly know we were wrong. As long as we can get the money, we'll bow to you, we'll build a monument for you. Looking at the people kneeling before me, my heart remained entirely unmoved. I simply, calmly, stated the objective truth to them, word by word. The announcement made it perfectly clear. All agreements are now null and void. This was the path you chose for yourselves. Having said my piece, I turned my gaze away, stepped forward, and walked right through the crowd. Behind me, Wang Chang's cries grew more wretched, mingling with the desperate wails of the villagers. I walked to my parents' graves. I got into my car and started the engine. As the vehicle rolled out of Long Village, I knew I would never return. That absurd, yet tragic story of Wolong Village was finally coming to an end. A few days later, I received a call from Uncle Seven. He said after I left that day, the villagers grew even more frenzied,
venting all their burning rage entirely onto Li Fu.
Kai and Wang Chang. Li Fukai was cornered in his home by a mob of bloodshot-eyed villagers. His courtyard gates were smashed, and the windows shattered to pieces. Listening to the relentless curses and vitriol hurled by the crowd, Li Fukai's fury overwhelmed his body.
causing him to suffer a sudden stroke right then.
To the town clinic that very night, and his position as village chief was naturally stripped away. The town authorities quickly dispatched a new secretary to handle this utter mess. But it was a mess that no one could possibly fix. Wang Chang's fate was even worse. He became the ultimate outlet for the entire village's resentment. His wife took their child back to her parents' home and filed for divorce.
Wang Chang was left entirely alone. Sigh.
Once the people's spirit is broken, nothing remains. Anyone who could leave has left to find a way to survive. Those who stay are just the helpless, the elderly, and the sick, sitting at the village entrance day after day, staring blankly at that massive, empty pit. Tell me, how did things ever come to this? Uncle Seven, you should make your own plans soon too. Yeah. I'm preparing to move to the city to live with my son, a village that was once bursting with life. All because of an unrealistic dream of revenge, ultimately withered into a desolate wasteland.
This was no natural disaster, but a calamity born in
The story of Wolong Village has long since drifted away with the wind. That greed and regret, that short-sightedness and strife, have all become the most profound footnotes of my life, serving as a constant reminder of what truly deserves to be cherished and pursued. On the voyage of life, one will inevitably encounter rough storms and shallow shoals. But as long as you choose the right direction and guard the integrity of your heart,
you will eventually reach that warm, tranquil